why can't we grow together? Why do we have to go our separate ways? Why does the relationship have to end? You can apply this to love, relationships, and family. Number one, and I'm going to give you 3 ways, I think. Number one is because I'd be doing all the work as I had been doing in the relationship. I'd be doing all the counseling, all the therapy, all the solutions, coming up with all the answers in love and business and money as I was doing. And so we can't grow together because you're not growing on your own, is what I was showing her. You're not growing on your own. And I had known this person and several others for like 20 years. So it wasn't just, oh, we just met, you're not growing after a week. It had been years. So on your own, you're not even growing. And therefore, we cannot grow together. We have to go our separate ways. Then once I came up with the answers and the solutions, they're like, oh yeah, okay, girl, that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Or, they would never be able to come up and bring any kind of solutions, any kind of value other than we've known each other for over 20 years. Number 2 kind of goes with that. I can respect us growing apart because that means at least we're both growing. If you want to go into something esoteric or just some kind of lifestyle, you want to be a monk or a nun or something, and I want to grow and do something in this way and we're growing apart, I can respect that. But when I want to grow and evolve and change and you're still the same person for the last 5 years, 6 years, that's why we cannot grow together, because you're not growing at all. Growing apart is great, but when you're not growing at all, and how do I know this? Because you're still the same person. Year after year, it's the same cycle. It's the same thing. And you take me through the same cycles, which of course I know I allowed that. And it's the same thing with men problems. It's the same thing with money problems. It's the same thing in your job, in your career. You hate your job, you hate your career. So I not only had to do this with one friend, but several friends, pretty much all of them. And when I would bring solutions and say, okay, we're going to do this. This is what we should do. This will be a great idea. Those friends would start doing it for like an hour and then that's it. They wouldn't finish it. That's my whole brand right there. They would not finish it. So that's why we can't grow together and why we had to go separate ways. And they weren't choosing a path of change. They loved where they were, no matter how much they complained about it. They wanted to be there. They didn't want to do the work to get out of it. Therefore, we could not grow together. And no exaggeration, 7 months later, they're still doing the same thing. A year later, and even if we would take breaks just because of life, or somebody would move or things like that, we would come back into each other's life. It's the same thing. They have the same issues, the same problems. And we would try to pick up our friendship. And I was always in a different place and they were still in the same place. And the only thing that was holding us together was that we've known each other all of our lives, or we've known each other for a long time. And they would start and make all these declarations of what they're going to do. And then there would never be change. When, we would just keep going in the friendship. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, they're doing the work because I know I was doing the work. And then when it came down for us to both evolve into the next level, they were still doing the same thing. They were still in the same place. And intuitively, that. But again, it's the familiarity. It's the number of years that you've known each other. The third reason why we could not grow together is because they didn't know me. We knew each other, humanly speaking, because of old relationships that we were in and which caused us to be friends. But they didn't really know me. Like if you send me a picture talking about, girl, this is what we're asking for Christmas, and it's a picture of a half naked man with, his chest out, you don't know me. Send me a picture of some food. Okay. And the only chest I want to see is that of my king, of the person that I'm with. I don't want to see some random Google image. Like, you don't know me at all. And this was not like a long time ago. Okay. This was like a year or two ago. You don't know me, and we've known each other all of our life. And it's not just this one person. I'm compiling different aspects from each relationship that I had to close off and walk away from, to show you that we can't grow together because of these 3 reasons. And we could not grow together in those friendships. So they didn't know me. I knew them. How can I say that? Because they were the same person every year. They were the same person. They handled things the same way when it came to money, love, relationships, jobs, their kids. They handled them the same way. If you see any of my other videos, how I evolved as a parent, my friends weren't even evolving as a parent, y'all. This is deep. They weren't even, changing, still yelling, still screaming, not healing themselves so they can heal their children and teach their children how to heal. Go look at all the past 3 videos that I've done, because it was like a spinoff of the mom cutting her daughter's hair off on TikTok, and how they weren't even evolving as a parent. And that was a big thing for me. That was a number one reason too of me releasing people. So after a certain amount of months or a certain amount of years, this is who they really were. This is who they want to be. I want to grow. I want to change. So this is another reason why we can grow together, is because after a certain amount of time, this is who you want to be. This is who you are. And so I'm not going to try to change you. I'm going to walk away in love and with respect. And what really kept us together is the fact that I was keeping a part of me alive just so I could maintain the friendship. And that part that I was keeping alive was not serving me. It was serving them. It was no longer serving me. So once I killed that part of me and crucified that part, then there's no connection. There's no reason for us to continue to say we're friends or even be in each other's life. And many of them, pretty much all of them, were shocked when I did walk away after so long, because the relationship or friendship was being sustained by my growth the whole time. I was continually growing. Therefore, when it got to a certain point, it's easy for me to walk away, because you're still the same person. You're not growing at all. And so there was shock, there was defensiveness, no humility at all. And that lets you know right there, we're not going to waste each other's time anymore. You're not going to waste mine, at least. We were only still connected because I was growing. And they were feeding off of that, and they were pretending. So the friendship was being sustained because of my growth. And they were, chameleoning as if they were growing and changing too. But there's always a time where you have to do a check, some kind of, regimen check, like I always do in every relationship. Where are we at? And that's what I was doing. And when I did that a year or two ago, it was pretty obvious. We're not on the same page. You're just sitting here in my growth and feeding off of my growth. And there's no growth whatsoever on your part, And when they would say, okay, I'm going to do it here, wouldn't finish it. They would not finish it. So those are my reasons. I'm sure there are more, and I'm sure you have plenty of other reasons. Y'all always leave them in the comments so other people can see them, and that's a good thing. I have my online courses that are about to be released, and I go deep into all of these different topics that you've been watching on my YouTube channel. I'm going to go deep into your connections and why that's prohibiting you and hindering you from manifesting the life that you want to live. I go into money issues, business, your body and healing it, and spirituality. So, it's just so good. I'm so excited about it. Follow IamDorian.com and all the other social media platforms.